My name is Alex Gochigo Ofo. By the grace of God, I'm the founder of Immaculate Chapel Ministries, the general overseer of the church. And my experience with Immaculate being a wonderful name that a lot of people are enjoying today. A lot of people are celebrating. Sometimes it baffles me when I come see people pray, the God of Immaculate Chapel must break this altar yoke for me. So wow. So all these years, when I was getting that message from the Lord about Immaculate Chapel, aka Jesus the High Court Judge, if I didn't take it serious, today nobody would have them call Immaculate. I remember back in the years 2011 when I moved down to Wari. Instruction and destiny brought me down to Wari, looking for a way to survive with too many failures, trials, and I didn't succeed. I remember I found a brother of mine called Chidi Sobiri somewhere in the world around here. Um, when I was cutting from his house, I mean, from his house to school. Times when he comes back home with his friends, and I found myself praying for them, prophesying to them, and the next time they come back, man, that thing you said, it came to pass. This came to pass. So that was how until like joke, I went to the mountain and the Lord gave me Immaculate as a name. So if I visited a friend of mine who is a Reverend Father in the Catholic Church by name Reverend Father Remigius. So in his branch at where they kept me in the law. So there I keep having encounter about Immaculate Chapel. God severally giving me a name and asking in the mix of the called Alex Umuafo. I was scared to answer, but along the line, I told in that revelation that my name is Alex Ugochukwu and I'm from our mama. So, when I answered that call, the Lord, the voice that was coming from the cloud, from like a lightning, I went close and he said, "Follow me." And when I followed him, he said, "I have given you the key of the kingdom of heaven. That whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you lose on earth will be lost in heaven." And then we disappeared and we appeared in Toronto. And we appeared on the space. So in between the two skyscrapers. So and he asked me, read the name. That was a name like a signpost across between the two skyscrapers. He said, read the name. Now whatever you read out is the name of the ministry that he has given to me that will carry on as a vision. So I tried to read the name, was like blinking like a trap ghetto. I saw the name and I saw Immaculate Chapel. So when I pronounced that name, that voice and the man disappeared. And I jumped from my bed and I was shouting, Immaculate, Immaculate Chapel. So I found myself in the bed inside the Catholic Church at Newi. But when I told the Reverend Father, he didn't believe me. To cut long story short, that was how Immaculate started. So we came here from my cousin's house, Chidi. His sitting room was not enough to address his friends because Immaculate started by addressing the friends of Chidi. And from there again, when I found my wife family, so each time I come to my wife's family house at Obinze, the more we gather people, so we always do night vigils. Every Friday we do night vigil in the house. So people will come out, prophesy, pray to daybreak. When I go to school, I'll pray till daybreak. So this was how people started knowing me. So when the time came that we couldn't manage the sitting room of my cousin brother, so we now started looking for a place. And we found a man called Mbise. I asked about him last week. They said he's late. So I found this man called Mbise. He's an agent. So he's the one that found the place where Immaculate Chapel is residing till today. So when we found there, that area was total write-off. You can't go there. There's no road. Everywhere is forest, bush. The compound was so odd, so ugly. Everything strange. And the Lord said, this is the place. So that was how we started. Started from that small room. There was no curtain. There was no chair. I remember the first day we had our ministry, our program. We went to borrow seats by neighbors. So people came that day. Our first offering was 450 naira. That was back then, 2011. I mean, it was a very strange experience. But God was manifesting his power through his servant. And my wife now used to come then, and she's the one that sang, we clap. So people was coming and life was touched. Along the line, the small parlor could not contain the crowd. You know, when I say crowd, it's like 15, 20 people. So the heat was so much, there was no fan, no generator, nothing. Our hand was the band, our hand was the piano. Today that we have bright and medicals and the pianos and everything. Then it was our hand and mouth. But we are praising God. In the midst of nothing, we never gave up. My wife now was, then I've not married her. She's too strong with other ministers of God that was around. So this was how God continued to see us through. So we left from that very small parlor. We now got a smaller canopy. From there again, while we are managing the canopy, we have this old pulpit, which the pulpit looked like a casket. But it was our experience. It was our stage by then. So from that level again, the canopy began to turn, started damaging, and things were so bad that each time the rain is falling, the water drops inside inside the canopy, that prompt people to start jumping from one seat to another seat. And I will be like, stop running away. That time will come. We will not see this level again. That we're going to be on a standard roof. And to the glory of God, we move from that level. But mind you, at the same time, people keep coming, people keep leaving. They come, they keep leaving. And one thing I found out, they will come, they will hail you. That is my papa, that's my prophet. And at the end, they will leave. So those areas really touch I and my wife. So why would people come and they will love, they will like the gift, but at the end they will leave. So sometimes it makes us to start questioning ourselves, are we witchcraft? Are we not nice people? How would we be nice to them? So we are still learning. So along the line, I have to submit myself to Bible school. So I went to Bible school for a couple of almost 2 years. I studied to learn, to train myself, join the Winners Chapel Evangelism Squad, the hospitality and the covenant friends, just for me to find growth. I and my wife. So that was how we keep moving. And after our white wedding 2015, God opened the doors. I went to the United States. So in the United States, God touched me in life, even when I had the experience from the Arik airline, while visiting the US for the first time. So when the Arik airline had that issue of the crash on the ground, so because I gave the prophecy before the thing happened, so that thing now prompted a lot of passengers to recognize me. So when when we all arrived JFK, when they went back to their various city, I started getting a phone call from different churches and pastors inviting me. So like that, I began to travel around, having members in diaspora, having members in different states. So when I came back, we had a new canopy, which is like a tent. So we used that one for a couple of almost 2 years. So when it lost shape again, I was telling the church, let's try and get some pillars to make this tent strong, because I noticed it was shaking. But one fateful evening, there was a heavy storm, a heavy rain. And what happened? That tent that used to be like our house, highest hope, got torn down and everything scattered except the pulpit. So we have the picture. We have the picture. So it looks as if we started afresh again. But that morning, God did something that very early morning. When I put phone calls to some strong members that period, they all come up. They all came up in less than 2 hours. God did another miracle. They will put another tent and manage it again. From there, we started our service. I mean, God has been showing up from one particular stage to another stage. Come to talk about Immaculate. By the grace of God, I have met a lot of people. God tested I and my wife through different people. The first time I met one of the prominent men in this town, who was a politician, he offered me millions of money. I saw it with my eyes. And he gave me condition to pray for him to become this federal person in the government of Nigeria. But the Holy Ghost ministered to me that this man in question is diabolic and he has a lot of charms on his body. That he need to give his life to him before I could pray for him. So I was so bold to tell him that, sir, with due respect, you have some charms. The Lord said you're not born again. I interpreted what I heard clearly. No, I didn't sugarcoat any one of them. And the man became upset. And he told those that brought me, said, take this young man, take him out of here. Are you stupid? And that period, I needed money to pay for my school fees. And my school fees was not up to $17,000. I mean, 17,000 naira. And this man in question showed me millions of naira that it belongs to me. I mean, God exposed me to test. I was tested by the Lord and we did not fall. We did not submit to money. but we will continue to hope and wait upon the Lord. Too many trials came. There was a neighbor in the church compound. That man did everything to frustrate I and my wife. Most times, when the church, when we finish the ministry, where the fellowship, the man will come to me the next morning. Then it was Thursday and Saturday. He will come to me the next morning telling me he doesn't have money to take his child to school. I should please lend him some money. And he will ask me the same amount of the offering. So I was not asking my wife, how does this man know the amount of the offering they gave on Saturday program? And that is the way I will give it to the man. And any that I did not give him, he will attack me. Sometimes he will not give us water to shower. So there was a lot of ups and downs. But we are strong, praying together, waiting upon the Lord. Too many things. I have been accused because of the night liberation. I travel around to go to pray for people in the village, communities. And one time came, I was preaching in the altar. That was around 2013. And I saw the group they call anti-kidnapping squad from the state CID. They came with a petition to arrest me, that I was a kidnapper, that I go by night to kidnap people, which is the night liberation prayer that I do. And they took me to the cell. They locked me up at the state CID with a fake petition letter. But God came for me. When they took me to a particular cell, they paid the group there to beat me up. And the Holy Ghost told me that the way they think they're going to beat me up, but it's going to do miracle. So when they brought me to that very cell, while the police guy was about to open the cell, the Lord said, the first young man that will come to lay hands on you, his name is so and so. Tell him what happened to him. And that was exactly what happened. The police guy was still by the iron door. When they threw me inside, the man came to slap me. And I called his name. And his hand was like this. He said, who are you? He never knew the person that was bringing. And the Holy Ghost told me from outside that this was all conspiracy. And he said, don't worry, I am building you. So right there, about 5 of them in the cell, I gave all of them prophecy. I exposed all of them, told them why they are here, told them how many months we were there. And all of them became scared. The boss man who was lying down on the boss, as in the boss man who sit on the best area, he stood up and he offered me the king's seat. I sat in less than 10 seconds. I sat down in the seat and all of them stood up. I began to pray for them. And it came to pass. The whole cell in that state CID, everybody was like, bring him out, bring him out. They were shaking their own doors. And the policemen came and said, what is it? He said, there is a man of God in that cell. Bring him out. We all need prayers. And that was how they brought me out on the corridor. I began to minister to different doors, both the female cells. And I told them that before this time tomorrow, I am moving out of this cell. And it came to pass. By 3 a.m. the next day, some great men of God, people of God, they came for me. And it happens that the commissioner of police in that state CID never knew that somebody like me came there, because it was a fake petition letter and everything turned against the man. And that was how God took victory. Immaculate went through stages of attack. When you call Immaculate, you call about attack. The devil never liked that name, Immaculate. The devil never liked me. He never liked anything I do. But brethren, I must tell you the truth, that Immaculate you're enjoying today, this church you're seeing today, is a church that survived by faith. I have a lot of experience to tell you about Immaculate Chapel. A lot of experience. Immaculate Chapel has been an altar that have been, I can't count how many times we've raised money to help people, strangers, pay hospital bills. There was some season like this every day that passes by. New people will knock on the door. Please, sir, my wife just delivered at the hospital. I don't have any bill to pay. I don't even know them. And most times it's my school fees. Most times it's the last one I have. And I will give it to them. They will go and pay. I have an experience one day. We came back from church, from Winners Chapel. My wife was just preparing the last little food in the house. And she just brought that fried yam. We are about to eat. A lady knocked on the door. And when the lady knocked on the door, because we live in the church that period. So I opened the door. The lady came and said, I have not eaten. My daughter, my son have not eaten. That was how we gave the lady our last pot of food. When she left, not up to 30 minutes, God brought a son that came to embarrass us. Immaculate has been experiencing the real hand of God. So my testimony about Immaculate Chapel, in fact, over the years when I was struggling to answer my call, now I have gone 12 years to 14 years into my call. Well, all I'm saying now, Lord, if I knew what I know now, I would have answered my call for a long time. So I don't know who my testimony may touch his life. I don't know who is listening to me. I don't know your own encounter, your own particular encounter. I don't know what you are hearing. But I want to tell you, we have a slogan in Immaculate Chapel that says, what God says to one, he says to all. And remember, the Bible said that the testimony of Jesus is a spirit of prophecy. So whatever I'm testifying now is a testimony of my life, of the ministry. My wife is a witness, and every loved one that is around. So you that is hearing me, I don't know the name God has given to you. I don't know the vision you're seeing, but if you can hear me clear and read meanings into my testimonies, use my testimony to apply in your own personal life. And guess what? The result I'm seeing today, you will see the same result. Or you may even see a greater result. But Immaculate has been a movement of the Lord. And I've never seen anybody that fought that altar and the prophet that survived. So this is my um, summarize. Because if I keep saying experience, I have experience, a lot of experience in the United States, in California, in Rochester, New Jersey, Sugarland, Texas, in Georgia, in Washington, D.C., and again now in Canada. Immaculate is touching around, touching life all around. I've seen people. I've seen people. God is doing great things with Immaculate Chapel. And even here in the word again, God is doing great things. So all I have to say is not by power, it's not by might. But like I always tell my friends, my physical friends, not my spiritual friends, that one day I'm going to write a book. And that book is my experience for 12, 14 years with the work of God from the altar of Immaculate Chapel. But it has been a very good journey. I'm proud to say I love God, and I'm proud to say I represent the altar of Immaculate. And I know to every one of you that is fellowshipping with me through this altar of Immaculate Chapel, I know you can say the same. Thank you.